text at the same time. For some reason, you just can't focus on both. But we do have the Zerg or Terran player building several more Ravens, getting those SCVs off the line to repair those. Now getting several missile turrets being built up in case of some kind of mutilous counterattack, as we don't want to have his Terran army wiped out. Is now getting an expansion put up here as well. So we'll see how he does then. He does have this secret base down here, still mining at full capacity, getting as much gas as possible, which he's going to need for these Ravens, as he is continuing to produce Ravens out of these 2 starports. Any other starports here for our Terran player? No, just looks like he has the 2 starports and building several amounts of barracks. Looks like he wants to get a good bioforce going as well, and then using these Ravens as support. We do now have a 3rd starport being built and a 4th starport being built. He is going mass air, folks, and let's see how much damage this can do. Meanwhile, we do have those 2 infestors moving across. They are into this base. And what kind of damage is he going to do with those infestors? No, it looks like he wants to wait till that base is a little more saturated. But this infestor army is now spotted by those Ravens. That's awesome about those, is they do become massive detectors, and we get some sick fungal growth on those Ravens. It looks like, is this Raven going to get taken out? No, just barely survives with 12 life. Is going to have to pull back and repair those Ravens. Meanwhile, 3 more infestors are heading to this expansion down here. Just wants to scout that out. No detection yet for that base. One thing I've noticed with planetary fortresses is they are very susceptible to baneling busts. So what I like to do is I like to build a... ooh, we have a nice little engagement of Marines. Oh, so many Marines just died there. Oh, fungal growth just does massive amounts of damage to Marines, and this small contingent of bio is going to get taken out quite quickly. Let's look around. Where are those Ravens? There are the Ravens right here, and we do have a bunker. It looks like a bunker down below full of units. How many Ravens do we have? 9 Ravens right now, building up some more tech labs on those starports, so we could be seeing 4 Ravens at a time. That's a significant gas investment, as you do need 200 gas per Raven. So it looks like we are almost up to 12 Ravens right now. And what kind of damage are these Ravens going to be able to do? Massive amounts of banelings now rolling across the map. Are these banelings going to do a lot of damage? Looks like they are targeting the planetary fortress. Take down the planetary fortress and working on all those SCVs. That is significantly going to cut into the Terran's economy right there. Losing that base like that, but the Zerg player did suffer quite a bit of casualties by having those Ravens fly into his main base. And it looks like we are spawning some more auto turrets, taking on those overlords, and it looks like they are going to focus down that hatch and these drones. How much is he going to be able to? Looks like all those drones do get taken out. Meanwhile, this drone is getting targeted. Ravens now flying down into the natural expansion, throwing down significant amounts of auto turrets down here. We've got almost 16 auto turrets spawned right now. Now up to 23 auto turrets. And it looks like we're settling on 20 auto turrets, with even more auto turrets being thrown down. And decides to fly those Ravens out of there. Still has 8 Ravens alive in this army, and this hive could go down. I mean, with these auto turrets here, with 3 armor and 8 damage, this is going to do massive amounts of damage. And it looks like those Ravens are just going to sit here and make sure that natural gets taken down. Meanwhile, the Ravens are still alive. How many Ravens do we have left? Still have all 8 Ravens left. Losing the infestation pit. Is he going to lose the greater spire as well? We will have to see. Some of these auto turrets are even on fire, as we do have these little doodads flying around, but they're not really doing anything. They're just flying around doodads. Meanwhile, greater spire is going down. This is going to be a huge blow to our Zerg player, putting him so far behind. Supply is currently 144 to 94, as even overlords aren't safe from these auto turrets, because yes, folks, they can in fact shoot up. Massive amounts of auto turrets here. We've got 16 plus 5, 21 auto turrets, plus these up here, 5 more up here, 20. Oh, it's just massive amounts of damage. Has the Hunter Seeker missile, but hasn't even decided to use it. Is now building that command center back at this base down here. Is getting some more supply depots. 150 to 105 currently for each of these players. 3 Broodlords are on the map, and it looks like he did decide to kill whatever that was. I have no idea what that was, but whatever it was, it did not deserve to live. It did get killed by banelings. And it looks like we do have a push here coming from FXOmOoNan, as he does have massive amounts of banelings. Probably has these corruptors so he could deal with some of those Ravens, as this Raven fleet is just basically flying around, seeing whatever it can find to drop as many auto turrets as possible and do as much damage as possible. Already wiped out the main and the natural. Is the Zerg rebuilding? Does have a spire down here. Does have a spawning pool here, so it looks like all he could build is mutas, corruptors, and Zerglings. Yes, Zerglings. Meanwhile, if we look here, more banelings are warping into the planetary fortress. Are they going to get the planetary fortress taken down? Yes, planetary fortress gets taken down again. But we do have battle cruisers now on the way for our Terran player. 3 battle cruisers in production. Fusion core is up and running. Any armory upgrades for his air units? No, it does not look like they have any upgrades at all. Would love to see him get some kind of armory so he can get some upgrades. He is sitting really heavily on gas, 1500 gas. Not a lot of minerals though, so it looks like he's going to need to get some more bases mining so he can supplement that income. Looks like he's trying to fly a base down here and fly this base down here, but these Zerglings are going to prevent those bases from landing, so he's going to have to spend a small contingent of Marines to take care of those units. Zerglings are currently 2-2, whereas if we look at the bio, they are currently 1-1. Auto turrets getting splashed all over the place. These auto turrets are doing so much damage to these hatches. Takes out this base up here from our Zerg player. If we look at the income tab, Zerg player down to 800 minerals per minute. Terran player up at 1300 minerals per minute. 51 harvesters to 51 harvesters currently, and these auto turrets are just doing so much damage. The only mining base he has left is this one here. Is working on building a base back up here and building this base back up here. But is it going to be enough? As these bases are still swarmed with these auto turrets, he could easily just keep throwing down auto turrets and flying around, as he has no answer for these corruptors. Drones burrowed so that they don't take too much damage, and it looks like he is now working on the last mining base for our Zerg player. Corruptors are coming in to do some sick damage. It's going to run back to the cover of his auto turrets, as those corruptors are now taking pretty sick amounts of damage. Meanwhile, it looks like the corruptors are just kind of flying around. They aren't getting shot by those auto turrets, and more auto turrets being flown down. And we currently have no mining anywhere from our Zerg player, as he is sending all of his drones up to this northern base, just so we can get some kind of income going, as he is currently broke at 49 minerals, 1600 gas, but no minerals. Meanwhile, Terran player is sitting at 2500 and 400. Meanwhile, the infestors are heading down. Looks like they are going to spot these bases down here, as those Marines did work on taking that out. Looks like this planetary fortress did take some damage before morphing into a planetary fortress and getting no kills yet. And here comes the Raven army again, doing more damage with those auto turrets. Looks like even this layer is not even safe. Do have a Spire infestation pit and spawning pool being built. I don't think the Zerg player can come back from this. 149 to 67 supply. Meanwhile, Broodlords, Zerglings, and flying up here, going to take out as much of these buildings as possible. 2 Broodlords remain. We'll see how much damage that these 2 Broodlords can do, as we do currently have 7, count them, 7 battle cruisers on the map. These battle cruisers are going to 1-8 to victory. The Ravens did enough counterattacking damage. I think he might even be able to win this game with just the Ravens. But you know what? Let's get battle cruisers. I love the buff that they gave them. They now move at 1.88 speed, as opposed to the slower speed that they were. And if you look at a Marine actually moves at 225, so a battle cruiser can almost move as fast as a Marine. And now he's going to choose to show those battle cruisers as they are coming forward, and battle cruisers here doing massive amounts of damage. These battle cruisers aren't taking any prisoners, even focusing down the Broodlords. Why? Because they can. Broodlord's getting taken out. Let's see what he does against these few Zerglings. Meanwhile, we do have these infestors up here doing some pretty good damage, killing off a lot of those SCVs, but these battle cruisers are kind of mad. They want revenge. 137 to 26. I don't see any way that the Zerg player can come back from this. His base is being revealed. He's got no hatcheries left. He's got a Spire, an infestation pit, and a spawning pool. And here comes the battle cruiser fleet, gonna be walking across the map. We do have a small contingent of corruptors. These corruptors can do some pretty good damage to these buildings, as they can throw that corruption down and do some pretty sick damage. Infestors even throwing up their infested Terrans. It looks like we are going to have 1 battle cruiser taken out. We still got 6 battle cruisers left alive. These battle cruisers are getting so many kills, focusing down those corruptors. And here comes the Raven fleet, and it looks like we've got the GG from FXOmOoNan. So as you can see, that build is pretty successful for our Zerg player. You know, he massed up a huge economy, got all these bases out, was able to build units and get a good supply advantage in the front. But as you can see, with those mass Ravens flying around, he didn't really have an answer for them. So definitely, if you come across this build, you're definitely going to want to be getting more Spore Crawlers up, getting some Hydras out as fast as possible, just to be able to counteract those Ravens. As you saw, they did sick damage. Was able to take out how many hatcheries? We lost so many hatcheries. I mean, we lost 2 there, 1 there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like 8 or 9 hatcheries the Zerg player lost just from his Raven harass. And as you can see, we're close to almost 20 Ravens just flying around. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast, and if you want to see more like it, please subscribe to my channel down below. And as always, have a good time.